Chapter 16, The Presentation. Joseph, genuflecting before the babe cradled in Mary's arms, left the cave in a state of humble adoration. He stepped out into the cool evening, making his way into the bustling village. Soon he returned, accompanied by a priest, and in a small, modest ceremony, the rite of circumcision was performed on the child. Throughout the rite, Mary held her son close, her eyes filled with a serene resolve as the sacred ritual unfolded. The Son of Mary offered up to the Eternal Father 3 sacrifices of inestimable worth. First, though innocent and the Son of the true God, he assumed the condition of a sinner by submitting to a rite devised as a remedy for original sin, a law that did not bind him. Second, he willingly endured the pains of circumcision, experiencing them as a true and perfect man. Third, he demonstrated the most ardent love by beginning to shed his blood for the human race, all the while giving thanks to the Eternal Father for granting him a human nature capable of suffering for his exaltation and glory. When the priest asked, "What name do you give this child?" both Mary and Joseph answered in unison, "Jesus is his name." The priest carefully inscribed the name on a tablet and continued, "I am convinced that this child is to be a great prophet of the Lord. Have care in raising him." With that solemn charge, and after receiving gifts of candles and other modest tokens from well-wishers, the priest departed, leaving the Holy Family to their quiet reverence. As the sun sank low, painting the sky in deep hues of orange and purple, the shadowy outline of a caravan appeared on the horizon, moving steadily eastward. They followed the guidance of a single radiant star, a star that burned brighter than all others, fixed unwaveringly above the place where the child had been born. The next day, 3 wise kings, each a ruler of great renown, arrived at the cave with their entourage of servants. The servants chattered and marveled at the strange holy scene before them, but the kings carried themselves with quiet reverence. They stepped forward, their robes trailing behind them, and entered the cave with solemn grace. Without hesitation, they knelt before Mary, their heads bowed in humility. One by one, they reached out to kiss Mary's hand in a gesture of deep respect. But Mary, with a gentle yet firm motion, withdrew her hand and instead extended the tiny hand of her newborn son. In that simple act, she offered them not her own honor, but the sacred gift of the Christ child, the one they had traveled so far to worship. "My spirit rejoices in the Lord, and my soul blesses and extols him," Mary said softly. "For among all the nations he has called and chosen you to behold that which many kings and prophets have longed in vain to see." The Magi congratulated her with words of admiration before departing, their faces alight with wonder, a stark contrast to the confusion of their servants who had not witnessed the miraculous scene. They went on to take lodgings in the town, their hearts stirred by what they had witnessed. Later that day, gathered around a table in a modest room at an inn, the 3 kings shared their thoughts. One mused, "What is this feeling? A deeper love for a king I have never known. What moves us so profoundly?" Another replied, "His greatness is veiled beneath poverty and humility, a mystery beyond mortal comprehension." A third added, "Oh, that all might share in this joy so freely." The first king concluded, They are in need of comfort. Let us send our servants back with gifts that will ease their burdens." Outside, near the cave, the Magi's servants delivered supplies to Joseph, who accepted them with quiet gratitude. The following day, the wise kings returned to bid farewell to the new king. They presented the traditional gifts of gold, incense, and myrrh, and even offered precious gems meant for a princess. Yet Mary, with gentle firmness, declined the gems, and instead bestowed upon each of them the most valuable gift she could offer, a small garment that had graced the tender skin of her infant son. "To each of you, I give this garment of clothing, a treasure that has touched the skin of the infant God." One king marveled, "More precious than gold or silver this cloth will bind me in service to his kinship for all my days." Another king suggested, "Let us provide you with property that can house you more suitably." The third king countered, "Or perhaps we should build a dwelling worthy of your holy family." Mary smiled warmly and replied, "Thank you, most kind and generous men, but our needs are few and met by our Lord. To seek more would be to challenge his wisdom. Your deeds will not go unnoticed." Joseph added, "It is a pity you cannot stay longer. We must present the child at the temple the day after tomorrow. May your journey back be safe and your paths be richly rewarded." The night before the presentation of the baby at the temple, Mary knelt in fervent prayer. "My Lord," she whispered, "tomorrow shall be a festive day for both heaven and earth. You have given him to me as God, and I return him to you as both God and man. Pour forth your mercies upon humanity. Pardon the sinners, console the afflicted, help the needy, enrich the poor, succor the weak, enlighten the blind, and embrace those who have strayed. I ask this on behalf of your only begotten Son, who by your will is also my son." A halo of light surrounded the young mother as she petitioned God on behalf of all humankind. The next day, as the Holy Family and bands of angels approached the temple's gates, Mary joined the company of devoted women, while Joseph walked with the gathered men. Approaching them was Simeon, the high priest, guided by the Holy Spirit, along with Anne, Mary's revered teacher. They advanced toward the couple. Mary gently handed the infant to Simeon. Lifting the child, Simeon raised his eyes heavenward and proclaimed, "Now, O Lord, you have prepared and placed before all mortals your divine light, so that it may shine upon the world, granting guidance and salvation to all who seek it. This is the light revealed even to the Gentiles, for the glory of your chosen people Israel. Behold, this child is destined for both downfall and resurrection among many in Israel, and his presence is a sign that will be met with contradiction. Moreover, a sword shall pierce your soul, Mary, so that the hearts of many may be laid bare." In that moment, Mary's eyes were filled with sorrow as she beheld visions of her son's life from infancy to manhood, of the suffering and humiliation he would endure, and ultimately of his death upon the cross. Silent tears traced down her cheeks, yet when Simeon returned the child to her, a faint smile of acceptance graced her face. Deep within, the infant spoke to her in an inner communion. "Dearest mother, though you must suffer much on my behalf, take heart, my love. God's love for you is is greater than the universe itself. Together we shall atone for the sins of humanity, and together we will guide those who seek refuge into the open arms of our Father. After the ceremony, Anne the prophetess addressed the assembled crowds, declaring, "Behold this child, for he is the light of the world, the promised Messiah, who has come to fulfill God's promise of salvation." Later, in the quiet of the cave, Mary spoke softly to Joseph, who cradled Jesus in his arms. "I wish to make a novena for the next 9 days at the temple," she said. Joseph, ever pragmatic, replied, "After that, we should return to our home in Nazareth. I wonder, my most holy spouse, am I to teach him my trade of carpentry? How can such precious hands hold rough wood and sharp tools?" Mary smiled gently and replied, "He will learn, my beloved. He will know rough wood, just as you have." In the temple, on the morning of the 5th day, Mary, the infant, and Anne were deep in prayer. Suddenly, a look of fear crossed Mary's face. "What troubles you, Mary?" Anne asked. "We cannot complete this 5th day of our novena. We must leave immediately," Mary whispered. Anne consoled her. "Go, return to your dwelling. I will prepare supplies for your journey. I need not ask where or when you depart, for the message in your eyes is clear and most disturbing." Clutching her child close, Mary left the temple with haste. Outside on the path, as Mary hurried along with the infant tightly held, a worried Joseph intercepted her midway, urging her with his words, "We must prepare to leave immediately. An angel appeared to me with a frightening message. Herod has learned of Jesus' birth, and fearing for his own kingship, has ordered that all male children under the age of 2 be slaughtered." Mary replied, her voice tinged with sorrow, "I too have received this message. How many innocents will perish? They fear the Son of God, not knowing that he is also the Son of Man." Joseph pressed on. "We must flee to Egypt and remain there until it's safe to return. We depart tonight. It will be a long journey, my beloved. Tell me, what can I do to ease your burden?" Mary, with quiet determination, said, "Our journey will not be without comfort, Joseph, for you provide so much solace. Whatever discomfort we encounter, we shall embrace it as we share in the grief of mothers who suffer much." Thus, with hearts heavy yet resolute, they prepared to embark on a long and uncertain journey, trusting in the guidance and protection of the divine.